Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our La Liga career mode here with Sevilla. We are returning today off the back of winning our first trophy in the previous episode, defeating Real Madrid on penalties to lift the Super Cup. And whilst it is not one of the big three that I've been after, the Copa del Rey, Champions League or La Liga, it is our first trophy as Sevilla boss. We did of course get knocked out of the Copa del Rey in the last 16, losing to Atletico Madrid. So that trophy is gone this season. So our attention is firmly set on the Champions League and La Liga, where we'll have big games coming today in both. Match day 7 and 8 of the Champions League, where I think 1 point will be enough to see us qualify in the top 8 and bypass the playoff round. So that's where we're going to start today. Bayern Munich at home. 3 points I'm pretty sure will secure it, and a point will hopefully be enough. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to work out the maths for sure with the new Champions League format, with who's playing who and what points are up for grabs, but I think a point will be enough for us. And what a start, as Isaac Romero, who's been on a little bit of a goal drought, got sent off in the semi-final of the Super Cup, gets us off to the perfect start and taking on a European giant in Bayern Munich here. But we're showing we're not afraid, as that's been our real motto all season long in the Champions League. We learned from our mistakes last year and we want to go far in this competition. Musiala, watch that pass. It's beautifully worked. Palhinha. Lovely football, and there's the equaliser. João Palhinha with the goal. Bayern back on level terms. Can't force it out wide to Yasser. It will find its way out there now, as Romero slides through Aymar, and Milenkovic isn't the quickest. Aroz in behind and restoring the lead for Sevilla. High line from Bayern. Milenkovic not the quickest. Great defender, but not known for his pace, and Aymar slipped in behind and he's got the finish as well. Still we lead by 1 here into the second half, as Ouattara given a little bit of time and space, and Romero back to Ouattara, yet to score for the club. Ouattara denied by Perry in the Bayern Munich goal. That was a lovely little move, and the Frenchman so close to his first goal. Cross swung in, Milenkovic heads away. That'll come for Sofiane Diop, and that is what we've been waiting for in a Sevilla shirt. A wonderful goal from the Moroccan, and Romero kept it alive. The touch is fantastic, the finish is just as good, and Sevilla have a 2-goal lead as we look to wrap up qualification for the last 16. Ben Seguir for Bayern. Kane's ahead of him. It's a lovely little move, and Musiala, what a strike. Game's not over yet. 3-2, another goal glut after we saw a couple of crazy games in the Super Cup last episode. 5-goal thriller here and still a quarter of the game to play. Well, it's all over here in Seville, and it is another big victory for Sevilla in the Champions League this season. A victory that should see us qualify in the top 8 and progress straight through to the last 16. And we're proving once again that we can do it against the big boys. So we'll jump straight into our next game, staying at home at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, but returning to action in La Liga, taking on Girona, who beat us early on in the campaign and are having a really good season. So I'm expecting a really tough game here. Vamos, Sevilla. Oh, that's lovely football. That is brilliant. And Girona take the lead. Chance to go back to the top of La Liga, but only with a victory. And we're behind against Girona, as we were at the Montilivi early on in the season. But it seems as if Girona are my bogey team of this save, because I just cannot play against them right now. We really struggled at the Montilivi. And, of course, they were relegated back in Season 1, back in the top flight now. And I just can't get the better of them. They've been much the better team here today, and we've got a chance to return back to the top of La Liga. But a loss here, with Girona completing the double against us, we'll see Barcelona stay top and Real Madrid potentially leapfrog us into second. Baina forward to Amin Gouiri, back to Alex Baina down the left-hand side. Dinks it into PK in the middle, who prods towards goal and can't hit the target. Well, that's the best sight of goal we've had all game. 63 minutes played, still we trail by 1. And we don't really look like scoring anytime soon. And a free kick in a very, very dangerous position. Jose Gaia is over it. The strike comes in. It's off the woodwork and cleared away by Mario Gila. But we survive by an absolute whisker as the score remains at 1. And now we come on the break with Beñat. Can Beñat go all the way? Oh, he's forgotten the ball. It just sums up our game. Just sums up the game today. And that's going to do it. Such a frustrating game. We just didn't do enough to claim anything from it. And I think that is just the 4th or maybe 5th time this season we have tasted defeat. Girona do the double over us. And that is going to put us in a really, really sticky situation in La Liga. Let's go and take a look at the table. Well, guys, as we get back to the menu, I've actually just played match day 8 of the Champions League off screen as well against Arsenal. It finished as a 1-1 draw, goals in the second half from Bukayo Saka. And then a quick response from Sevilla through Morten Frendrup means that we will end the league campaign undefeated with 6 wins and 2 draws in our 8 games. So finishing 3rd in the league standings, which means we will bypass the playoff round. So I'm hoping later on in the episode we'll find out who we'll face in the quarterfinals. But a quick look at the La Liga table as well after that defeat to Girona, just our 4th of the campaign. But you'll see now with Barcelona having played a game more, the gap to them is 5. Real Madrid do leapfrog us by a point and jump into 2nd. And we also now face Barcelona away from home as we head into February. So a very quick transfer deadline day as we effectively will not be partaking. I'm not selling anyone. I'm not bringing anyone in. And of course, we're sticking to our 25-man squad limit. So we're just going to head straight through January despite having over 50 million to spend. And we're going to crack on with the remainder of the season. So Barcelona away from home up next. Vamos Sevilla. A huge game this against Barcelona, still undefeated at the top of La Liga as Lamine Yamal. Oh my goodness, that was close, just wide of Kepa's near post, and Barcelona setting the intent early on here. They mean business and they want to extend that gap at the top. As Bayern finds Piqué, is this the moment for us? Amin onto that right foot. Amin Gouiri finds the bottom corner and he only needs half a yard, and that's what the Barcelona defence have given him. Amin fires us into the lead, and how big a goal could that be come the end of the season? We're still leading by 1, around 10 or 15 minutes played in this second half, and so far we've done pretty well. As Piqué on the spin, Piqué denied by the Frenchman Mike Maignan, and to be fair, we've done well. We've limited Barcelona to just that one chance, which came in the opening few minutes. Since then, we've been solid defensively as that's up in the air. And Pedrosa heads on and can't find the target as I think Beñat hits the deck, which is not good news. But we've been full value for this, and Barcelona haven't really caused us many issues. Well, there is the whistle, and Sevilla do hold on to inflict Barcelona's first defeat of the season in La Liga, and they had a 5-point gap heading into this fixture. Although we did have a game in hand, we can now leapfrog them if we win that game in hand, thanks to Amin Gouiri's goal in the first half. We defended really well, we didn't give Barcelona any chances, and if anyone looked most likely to score, it was Sevilla. A huge win away from home, and that may just put us in pole position for the title. What a victory. Well, thankfully the injury to Beñat Prados is just a 5-day bruise, so he will be back for our next fixture against Valencia. And as Barcelona take on Real Madrid, a chance for us to go back to the top of the table with a game in hand over Barcelona as well. So a huge El Clasico, and we could be the ones to benefit. Got to make sure we get the job done here though against Valencia. Vamos Sevilla. Stein. Oh, danger. Adams with so much time and space, and it would be him, wouldn't it? The man we sold to Valencia in the summer never really worked for him here in Seville, and of course he comes back to get his revenge on his return to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Well, you just knew it was going to happen, didn't you? Every time you sell a player to a division rival, they always seem to come back and score against you. No matter who it is, no matter what position they play, they always find a way. And as Bayern does well, finds Guiri, couldn't pull the trigger. And we really need to find a way ourselves of getting back into this game. That huge win against Barcelona, and it will all be undone if we can't follow it up with a victory here as Sanchez finds Guiri, and there is the leveller. That is more like it. Sevilla back on level terms, but we need to make sure we pick up all 3 points. Agume, great toe. And Agume looks for Amin. He's onside. Guiri doesn't miss those. Sevilla from behind, back in front, and looking to return back to the top of La Liga. Oh, is there to be late drama? 5 to play. Still we lead by 1. Adam shoots, impossible angle. And Kepa will just run down the clock. And I think that is going to do it as well, guys. A massive, massive victory. And after going a goal down, it was a little bit nervy. But after that big win against Barcelona, we had to make sure we followed it on with another victory. And that is exactly what we've done here today. We've put ourselves back in pole position. And let's go and find out what the score was between Barcelona and Real Madrid, because that is a huge contest. Well, as we get back to the menu, we do see a knock for Sanchez, and it is thankfully just a knock. We're having a lot of little 5-day bruises as we see Guiri developing nicely. But what was the score between Barcelona and Real Madrid? It looks as if Barcelona have won, I believe. Where are we? Yes, by 2 goals to 1. So could our 3-horse title race be narrowing down to just 2 horses? We're still 2 points behind them. But of course, we do have that game in hand. Win that, and we're a point clear with 15 games to play. So it is all still to play for as we head in towards the latter stages of the competition. But Celta Vigo up next away from home had a pretty good campaign last year and qualified for the Conference League. Going pretty strong this season as well, sat in 8th, and definitely a tough opposition to face away from home in Galicia. Got to just try and keep the winning run going for as long as possible. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, Barcelona actually played before us in this round of fixtures, so we now have 2 games in hand, and the gap is 5. But of course, if we win those 2, then we will return back to the top of the table. But this is a really tough game here. There's Celta Vigo coming out of the blocks, and El Shaarawy, who's caused me issues in the past, going close via a deflection. Oh no, danger. El Shaarawy. Nicely worked. Good save, Kepa. Just not got going in this opening half, and Kepa's had to bail me out there as El Shaarawy will swing in the corner. Headed away, not fully clear. And luckily that flashes wide of the post. 5 minutes until the break, and I need to get the boys in because we have not been good enough in this opening 40 minutes. Well, Guiri was our saviour in the previous game, as he so often is, but he's barely had a sniff today. Can we get the ball into him in a dangerous area? Well, he has it now. And there's Beñat Prados bursting onto it, and he's not provided the goal, but Guiri does get the assist. As against the run of play, we have the breakthrough, and it's Beñat Prados once again who keeps popping up with important goals. Oh, that's a clever little block on Sanchez, and Perez races away. Swings the cross in. Barde's there. It'll drop for Celta Vigo. Shot blocked, and Gibra will clear as Yasser finds Amin, and through the gap for Piqué. How he needs a goal. Piqué racing away, and he gets his goal as well, and Sevilla will be leaving Galicia with all 3 points. And yet that will do it. No damage done in the final 18 minutes, and Piqué's goal will be enough to wrap up a huge 3 points for Sevilla. I keep saying it feels like the pressure is on us at the moment as Barcelona just keep on winning, and we'll jump straight into our next game. I'm not sure when that game in hand comes, but taking on Real Sociedad, returning back home to the Ramon Sanchez pitch one. Pressure starting to mount as we get to the real important stages of the season, but we've just got to keep doing our job and winning. Vamos, Sevilla. Well, despite our win, Barcelona Oh, what on earth is that, man? The ball was there to be won. Why has he gone straight over the man? Barcelona have played and won, so the pressure is on us once again. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I feel like he could have gone for the ball there. And Sergio Gomez is denied by Kepa. Big stop by the Spaniard. And he keeps his clean sheet intact for now as we remain deadlocked here in Seville. And Sergio Gomez has just gone flying again. He's having a terrible few minutes. And we could be away here. Yasser. PK. Space out wide for Pedrosa. And PK. And Amin. Oh, what a brilliant counter-attack from Sevilla. And from one end, a penalty for Sociedad, saved by Kepa. And we keep the chance alive on the break. And Amin Gouiri opens the scoring. Imo gets the start today down this left-hand side. And he fires that into PK. And there's one defender a lot deeper than the rest as PK's away. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Scored the dagger last time out in Galicia. And he's on the score sheet once again. Back-to-back games for PK where he is netted. And Sevilla do look set to keep the pace with Barcelona. Still leading by 2 here. Game starting to open up as Sociedad pushing bodies forward. And a third goal would secure the victory for us. As Amin beats one. Lovely skill. Gets himself half a yard and finds the back of the net. And with 22 minutes to play, I'm pretty confident that is game over. Oh no, not straight from kickoff. Big save, Kepa. Doesn't matter. Clean sheet gone. Sociedad have a goal back. Well, it is all over here at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. And despite us losing the goal and the clean sheet, I was always feeling pretty confident that we would get the job done. And we do hold on to the 3 points. So before we jump into our next game, I want to go and take a look at the table and see how we stand, as I believe we will actually play our next fixture before Barcelona do. So I want to take a look at fixtures and see where we stand. Well, we've also had the match rescheduled email, so I think we may have seen the draw for the Champions League last 16, where Sevilla will be taking on Inter Milan. That is a really tough draw. Oh my goodness, they were in the playoff as they beat Midtjylland by 3-1. But yeah, that's a really tough draw as Arsenal take on Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid against Spurs, Barcelona, Napoli and Atletico Madrid gang. Some interesting teams in the knockout stage. Stade Brestois, Ferencvaros. But yeah, it will be Inter Milan in the last 16. So that will come in the next episode. But we will close out today by taking on Levante, which could see us go top for 24 hours. Barcelona travelling to the Montilivi tomorrow, but a win here will see us leapfrog them and head to the top of the table, as I say, for at least 24 hours. So let's see if we can get the job done to close out the episode. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, taking on Levante here should be a favourable fixture as Amin drills in the opening goal. He's been in fine form recently, and does mean if we win here we can put the pressure on Barcelona before their fixture. And Amin Gouiri once again on the score sheet as he gets us off to the perfect start. Yeah, Levante struggling down towards the bottom of the table, and with that early goal you'd imagine we can really start to turn the screw as PK 3-3 for the Spaniard, and he is starting to get back to his best as well. That's a beautiful little finish on the weaker left foot, just guides it into the corner off the post. Brilliant ball into him by Pedrosa. Sevilla have 2, and we look set for the 3 points and say over to you, Barcelona. Amin out wide to Yasser. Comes infield, lovely 1-2. Yasser Asprilla on a plate for PK, and it is 3. And we've not even reached the halfway stage yet. Lovely build-up from Sevilla. Amin into Asprilla. Could have taken it on himself, but sees the Spaniard PK in space, picks him out, and that is going to be another 3 points on the board for Sevilla. Well, I think this is going to do it. I'd love to get PK the hat-trick. Oh, and what a way that would have been to get it. But there is the whistle as we do hold on for the 3-goal victory. And as I said, when those goals went in, over to you, Barcelona. When they were up first, they were putting the pressure on us. Roles reversed. We played before them. We've got the win. Now let's go and see how they get on to close out the episode. Well, as we get back to the menus, there's a huge game up next against Inter, but you'll have to wait for the next episode for that one. But let's take a look at the La Liga table. Did Barcelona win? Yes, they did. So they return back to the top of the table. It was a 2-1 win over Girona at the Montilivi. Close game. And of course, whilst they do move 2 points clear, we do still have that game in hand. Real Madrid looking a little bit off the pace at the moment as they look to defend their crown. But at the moment, you'd say it's either Barcelona or ourselves with 15 to play. So we'll be back in the next episode for more big games in the league. The Champions League last 16 against the Italians Inter Milan. And I'm sure there will be lots more drama. Thank you guys for the support, and I'll catch you for the next episode very soon. Take care. Peace.